Cortisol. You wake up, check your phone, and see a message that says, "We need to talk." Your brain doesn't wait for details. It immediately shifts into alert mode. One quiet signal goes out, and just like that, cortisol enters the chat. Cortisol is your long-term stress partner, not the one who yells and runs around. That's adrenaline. Cortisol is calmer, more persistent. It doesn't panic. It prepares. It gives your body extra energy by raising blood sugar. It turns down everything non-essential: digestion, reproduction, even immune responses. Not because it hates you, but because it thinks you might need all systems ready for something serious. It's the hormone behind those "why am I tense for no reason" mornings. Or those nights when you're exhausted but your brain insists on reviewing your entire life. Cortisol isn't bad. You need it to deal with real problems. But it was designed for short bursts, not weeks of inbox overload and mild panic. If it hangs around too long, it quietly drains your energy, your sleep, your good mood. It's like background noise you stop noticing until you realize you haven't fully relaxed in days. So if your body sometimes feels like it's always on standby, that's not just stress. That's cortisol doing its job, maybe a little too well. Adrenaline. You hear a loud crash in the other room. No time to think. Your heart jumps, your eyes widen, and you're suddenly wide awake. That's adrenaline. It doesn't wait for permission. It just shows up. While cortisol takes the slow, strategic route, adrenaline is all action. It's the fast-forward button your body hits when it thinks something big is happening. Right now, in seconds, it raises your heart rate, tightens your muscles, sharpens your focus. You can feel it in your chest, your fingertips, your breath. It's why you gasp when someone startles you, why your hands shake before speaking in public, and why, for a few seconds, you feel like you could either fight a bear or sprint away from one. Adrenaline isn't subtle. It's dramatic, but short-lived. Once the moment passes, it fades, often leaving you with wobbly legs and a confused brain, and it's not always bad. Roller coasters? Scary movies? That "I almost missed the bus" jog? That's adrenaline too. The fun kind. It's designed to save your life, but sometimes it shows up just because your phone buzzed a little too loud. Norepinephrine. You've got a deadline in 2 hours, 0 snacks left, and somehow your neighbor just started drilling into the wall. It's not a full-blown crisis, but your body decides it's time to focus. That's norepinephrine stepping in. Think of it as adrenaline's quieter cousin. Still energizing, still stress-related. But more about mental sharpness than dramatic escape. It wakes you up, keeps your eyes on the task, pushes distractions into the background, at least for a while. While adrenaline gets you ready to run, norepinephrine gets you ready to think fast and stay alert. It tightens blood vessels, so your brain gets more oxygen, raises your heart rate just enough, and keeps your attention locked on whatever feels urgent. It's why you suddenly sit up straighter during an intense meeting, or why, during an exam, you can't remember your own name, but somehow recall a random fact from 9th grade. In healthy doses, it's helpful. But if it sticks around too long, it turns into the kind of tension that's always one notification away from snapping. You're not panicking, but your brain's hovering 1 inch above normal, watching, waiting, grinding its gears. So next time you feel weirdly alert at 11:47 p.m. with no clear reason, yep, norepinephrine's on the night shift. Glucagon. You're deep in a stressful moment, maybe racing to finish something, maybe overthinking life at 2 a.m. You haven't eaten in hours, but weirdly, you're not that hungry. That's glucagon, keeping you fueled behind the scenes. When stress hits, your body needs energy, fast. So glucagon heads to your liver and knocks politely, "Hey, could you release some sugar from storage?" And your liver says, "Sure, how much?" Glucagon doesn't create energy, it unlocks it. Specifically, it breaks down glycogen, your body's stored sugar, and sends glucose into your bloodstream. Result? Your brain and muscles stay active, even without snacks. It's part of the fight, flee, or freeze support crew. You won't be able to wrestle a tiger on an empty stomach, so glucagon makes sure it's not technically empty. It's also the reason you can feel wired and low-key nauseous during long stress. Food seems unappealing, but your body's still running, thanks to fuel borrowed from tomorrow. In daily life, glucagon is balanced by insulin. One puts sugar in, the other takes it out. But under stress, insulin steps back and glucagon steps up. The goal isn't comfort. The goal is survival mode. So if you're ever in a tense situation thinking, "I haven't eaten since breakfast, but I'm still going strong," you're not running on willpower. You're running on glucagon. Vasopressin. You're stressed, not in a panic, but in that quiet, stuck kind of way. You're holding it together, barely. Then someone asks, "Are you okay?" And your eyes suddenly start to sting. That's vasopressin, working overtime. Technically, it's an antidiuretic hormone, meaning it helps your body hold on to water, useful when you're sweating, crying, or too anxious to drink anything at all. Under stress, vasopressin tells your kidneys, "Don't let go of anything. We might need it." And at the same time, it slightly raises blood pressure, just enough to keep things flowing, even when your body's tense. But vasopressin isn't just physical. It's linked to emotional bonding too. Studies suggest it plays a role in social memory, protective behavior, and, yes, the kind of tears that come when you almost held it together. It's part of why crying often feels like a release. The body tries to keep everything inside, water, emotions, composure, until it can't. Vasopressin isn't there to make you cry, but when it's been helping you hold things in for too long, even a kind look can tip the balance. So if you've ever gone from "I'm fine" to tears in 3 seconds, blame the tiny water-saving hormone with a surprisingly tender side. Prolactin. There's a kind of stress that doesn't come with racing thoughts or shaky hands. It comes with heaviness, a slow, quiet kind of tired that makes you want to sit in the shower and not answer texts. That's where prolactin shows up. You might know it as the hormone that supports breastfeeding. But under emotional stress, it does something else. Prolactin kicks in when the body feels like fighting or fleeing won't help. It softens the system, lowers motivation, brings stillness, not to give up, but to survive without spending more energy. It's why you might feel numb after crying, or why, after days of holding everything in, you suddenly want to do nothing at all. Not out of laziness, but because your brain is pressing pause. Some researchers call prolactin the quiet recovery hormone. It doesn't pump you full of energy. It lets you not do, and be okay with that. It's also part of why emotional exhaustion can feel so physical. Muscles don't ache, but everything feels too much. And while it's more active in women, especially during hormonal shifts, everyone can feel it, especially during emotional overwhelm or deep fatigue. So if your body ever says, "Let's just lie down and not talk for a while," that's not weakness. That's prolactin, stepping in like a blanket. CRH. Sometimes stress starts before anything actually happens. A sound, a vibe, a feeling that something's off. That's when CRH enters the picture. CRH, corticotropin-releasing hormone, is the first signal your brain sends out when it senses a possible threat. It's released by the hypothalamus, and its job is simple. "Hey, we might need backup. Get ready." Once it shows up, it tells the pituitary gland to release another hormone, which then tells your adrenal glands to release cortisol. So CRH doesn't handle the stress directly. It starts the chain reaction. It's the "something's not right" signal before you even know why you feel uneasy. Like when you're walking into a room and feel tension before anyone speaks, or when you wake up with a knot in your stomach, before checking your phone. CRH also plays a role in anxiety and sleep disruption. It doesn't just react to stress. It amplifies the sense that stress is coming. It's your body leaning forward, listening closely, getting ready to respond. And while that's helpful in real danger, in modern life it sometimes means your brain is bracing for an email. Beta-Endorphin. After all the alerts, tension, overthinking, and holding it together, your body finally tries something softer. It releases beta-endorphins, natural painkillers, tiny molecules of, "Okay, let's make this hurt less." These are the same chemicals that show up during exercise, laughter, dancing, or even eating something spicy. But they also appear in emotional stress, as a kind of buffer, not to solve the problem, but to help you cope. They attach to opioid receptors in the brain and reduce pain, both physical and emotional. That's why, after a breakdown, you sometimes feel strangely calm, or why crying can feel like relief, not just sadness. Endorphins don't stop the stress response. They make it more survivable. They don't turn off the alarm, but they offer you a blanket and a cookie while it's still ringing. So if after everything, you find yourself laughing at something dumb or sighing with your whole body, that's not weakness. That's beta-endorphins doing damage control. Quietly, kindly, just enough to help you stay human.